In this video, we are going to show you how to make a
fairy garden.
Just like this one. Yesterday, we celebrated Casey's birthday, and as part of the birthday party, we made fairy gardens. So we did them with a lot of items that we had on hand already, but there are also things that you can buy really easily.
And this is one that I made at my party.
This is the one that Casey made at her party. Tell me, what did you put in your garden?
Honey, some mushrooms, stepping stones, a whale, 4 ladybugs, 1 sheep, 1 bunny, and 1 house.
That's so pretty. And the sea pinks, they look like a little mountain forest, don't they? So that turned out really nicely. Do you like your garden?
Yes.
Yes. So these, this was a set of 8 terracotta pots. We got them on Amazon. They're about 5 inches in diameter, and they're really good because they have enough room to put some like kind of a grassy area as well as a flower and any other decorations. But you can do this with any size terracotta pot. You could even do it with a little teeny tiny terracotta pot as well. These little pots, these terracotta pots, are great because they have drainage. They're permeable, so the water will kind of not cause the plants to rot. We also have this plant that we got for grass. We got it at our local garden center. So this is the large flat. You can see we've used a lot of it for the gardens that we made yesterday, but it is perfect for little fairy mounds. We have some little pansies, sea pinks. This is decorative moss that I got at Michael's. You can probably get it from any craft store or any garden center. It's perfect for making little bushes. We have these melted glass pebbles. They are perfect for making stepping stones or little ponds. We got a lot of these little fairy accessories on Amazon. We got a big kit because we were doing a whole party, but you can get much smaller kits with individual things. We have found objects as well, such as pea gravel. These are little eucalyptus acorns. We also have some sea glass and shells. One of the cool things about a project like this as well is you can use things that you've found. So this is moss that I've collected in my neighborhood after it rained. I popped it into this and then have been storing it in my outdoor little mini greenhouse because here in California the moss doesn't last too long once the rains stop. So I've saved that. I actually found these moss covered rocks and I thought they were perfect for a fairy garden or possibly a terrarium, as they will need to stay somewhat moist in order for the moss to stay alive on them. That is just a little volunteer polka dot plant that grew into this tray of moss that I had been saving. I also like using succulents for a fairy garden. These are all succulents that I grew from leaf propagations. Of course, if you don't have leaf propagations to begin with, if you have a little succulent like this, if you have some succulents around the house, you can always just snip off one of the ends like this and stick it in, and that would be a perfect addition to a fairy garden. Here's another area I have in my yard with succulents, and this is perfect. It's so tiny and so little, and just by snipping off a little bit of that, that is a perfect addition to a fairy garden. We also have these little tiny succulent tools, which are really handy for doing little fine detailing work. And then I also have larger garden tools, which are good for pulling apart this flat. So the first step, of course, is to get yourself some good organic potting mix. I like this indoor and outdoor mix because depending on where your fairy garden's gonna go, it's gonna be perfect for that. And this also has some kind of natural fertilizers in it already. So I've got my bowl and I'm just gonna use my hands actually and fill that up maybe a little less than halfway. So this stuff's really easy to pull out. Yeah, you just do it like that. And you can kind of yank it out, huh? To help. Oh! It's kind of messy work. It's all right. Here. Look.
Is that in my hair?
No. It's kind of, look, the roots are in here. There we go. Maybe that's a little easier way to do it. What do you think about that? That better?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice work. Oh, you got it out. Okay. Oh, perfect. You got some good roots. Let me just, I'm going to pull the excess soil out. And we're going to put our grass in. Let's get a little close up here now. All right, so you've added your grass. Do you want to add any flowers to this one? What do you think? So what I'm going to do, hang on, before you do that, let's add some soil all around to make sure it's really nice and firmly in there. What do you think? Does that feel nice and firm?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to add some of that pretty purple moss. Do you want to add any flowers to this one?
Yeah.
Yeah? So, okay, before you do that, do you want some of these flowers?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take this out for 1 sec. You can put these back in. And we're gonna make a nice little hole, and let these just simply...
Actually, I'm just gonna...
Okay, I'm gonna push it out from the bottom. It's a little bit dry, so when we're done with this, we'll give it a good watering. Just gonna work the roots a little bit. Ooh. And we're just gonna place it in here.
I also want to make a pond.
Okay, well we can, that's a good idea. So let's squish that in there. So before you shove that in there, I'm gonna put some soil in because it'll make this plant a little bit more happy. Let me grab some extra, oh, here we've got some extra soil in this one. I think I need your help. Will you take this and fill in the soil with that?
Okay.
You want to put some on that side? No. So you could do it with the little tools. You could do it by hand as well. Do you want to do it by hand?
No.
No? You want to use the tools?
Yeah.
All right. So we get nice and snug in there. Because we want to make sure the roots are covered.
Okay, let me get some water.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because this was very dry, so I'm going to just keep filling in on this side so that those plants are nice and snug in there.
Got some water.
Okay.
Okay.
Give it a little nice little watering.
There we go.
I think it needs a little more water on this side. What do you think?
Okay.
On that side? Okay. Yes, that feels good. It feels nice and snug in there. Do you want to water the back of the plant? Let's see how the soil is really dry. There we go. Some good watering there. Okay.
Now it's time for the moss.
Now it's time to decorate, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to decorate it up with some little pea pebbles. I like that. So we've got our decorative moss. Got some pea pebbles. And you know what? We also have some... Oh, that's really pretty. So you're going to make that into a pond?
Yeah.
I love it.
I wish there was more ducks.
Yeah, we don't have any more ducks, but we do have some ladybugs. Would you like some more ladybugs? Will we do some like pebbles on this side too, and like a little, almost like a little fence of pebbles?
I just put a sea glass there.
Oh, sea glass, I like that. And did we water all of it? Did we water that part? You water it. Pretty.
There we go.
That looks really good. Okay. Got the stepping stones.
The stepping stone.
More stepping stones. Here's some ladybugs.
And this stepping stone.
All right. How many ladybugs do you want? It's like a little ladybug conference. That's so pretty. So that was so easy and quick. We made that in about 10 minutes, didn't we? So we've made our fairy garden out of annuals and perennials, but what if you want to make a fairy garden using succulents, and in particular, succulent cuttings? There's just a slightly different method for making this kind of fairy garden. If you're going to make a fairy garden with succulent cuttings as opposed to plants that already have soil on them, you're going to want to fill your pot almost completely. And that is because the succulents don't have any soil on them already. So I'm just going to go around and start populating my garden. What I want to do is kind of fill it, not completely, not make a succulent arrangement, but have an area for the fairies to be. So what I might do is actually do my decorating first. I'm going to use some pea gravel. I really like using these kind of squashed marbles. They make really great stepping stones. I might do a little rainbow kind of a look for my fairy. And I do like how these ones, how those look like little pools of water. Got my area there. And then I'm just gonna simply pop some of these succulents in. So I've got these little bits of sedum and these little small pieces of sedum, and all you need to do is just rest them on there, and they almost make like a little hedge for your fairy garden. One succulent that looks great in a fairy garden is a crassula golem, because look at that, it looks like a little tree. I'm actually going to remove that jade crassula, pop that one in instead. So I think that's just super cute. And now we've got a little bit of a row here, and I have some teeny tiny ghosties that will work perfectly. There is the succulent version of my fairy garden, a little bit different, but still cute. And you'll notice that I kept this to just succulent type plants, as this one wants to stay a lot more dry than these more alpine plants. And that is something to bear in mind when you are making your garden, to put plants in that want pretty much the same care. And that is it. That is how we made this cute little fairy garden in just 10 minutes with stuff that we had around the house.
If you like this video, subscribe.
Yeah, I hope you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Instagram and TikTok, right? Yeah, all right, bye.
Bye.